Hello and welcome to the Battle Room. I am the Battle Room, and today I'm joined by Raghav. How you doing, buddy?
Not amazing. I've been feeling a little sick, been swamped with school, so this time it's kind of essential for me. I need the space in the battle room right now. I need all the battle roommates to give me energy.
That's fair. The Battle Roommates consistently give me that energy as well. And today we're breaking down the most recent Australian regional championships, the finals, if you will, of the tournament. So this was on someone's Twitch stream. I'll link it down below. I think it was PvP Pete was the streamer who streamed this tournament. They did their own grassroots stream.
That's fire. PvP Pete.
Yeah, dude, PvP Pete came fucking through, got us footage of the final. So I'll link down his stream down below. You can go check it out. But we're gonna break down the teams a little bit first, and then we're gonna watch the finals. Because I don't know if many of you saw it. I personally saw one tweet about it, so I thought I would, I wanted to break it down and just watch it. I think it was a pretty good finals. It sounded pretty crazy from what I've heard. So let's break it down. First up, we got Jude Lee's team here. Jude, he is a infamous character in the Pokemon community. Known not for the greatest reasons, but also known to be he's a very good player. He's a very good player, but he's known to be a little shady at points on the ladder and in tournament. But either way, he's in the finals here. He is known for Tropicos as well. He's a big Tropicos stan. So this is the team he chose.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a big Tropicos guy. So this is like, I mean, I feel like the Tropicos teams always have Tropicos, CSR, Incin, and then it just kind of, the last three are just kind of whatever. Usually a Follow Me, usually potentially another Rillaboom. It just kind of depends what they want. Sometimes they're Shifu, sometimes Flutter. It's kind of all over the place right now. But I think the core three are the broken parts, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like anything crazy, to be honest. Pagos, Incinerilla, CSR, Standard Core. I've been seeing a lot of Flutter with fake tiers. This one obviously doesn't have it, but no Protect, Taunt, Thunder Wave, Moonblast, Icy, really strong set. And then, of course, Ogerpon Rock, because especially in this format, Pagos aren't running Substitute as much. So you need a little bit of that extra insurance against, like, Amoonguss and just Redirection. And I think the only, like, really interesting things, I guess, are knockoff on Ogerpon, maybe to help into Lunala or just get rid of items in general. And the other would probably be Pollen Puff Calyrex. It's been around, but it's always, a toss-up whether you run Psychic or Puff. But I'd say overall this team is just kind of really solid and very control-based, kind of giving you the tools you need, and you have to pilot it perfectly.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, it's just all about the tools here. There's just so many of them. 2 Fake Outs, Follow Me, Speed Control, and the Turtle, which can remove terrain and weather. So, yeah, nothing too crazy here, but the other guy's team is absolutely
Yeah, what's he going up
crazy.
against? Holy fuck.
He's going up against Walking Lake with Snarl Jet AV, and then it is a CSR Mirror, but this guy has got a Wheezing and Koraidon. Yeah, so
Talk about weird physical moves. You got Aqua Jet, Walking Wake, and then I don't think I've ever seen Play Rough Wheezing, but I guess I get it. There's no Intimidate, but what is it? Its attack stat? Is it much lower than the special attack stat? Like,
I'm not
I
sure.
just did not expect that, to be honest. Other notable thing is it's Encore Calyrex with double stab, and the Incin has no Flare Blitz on the Sun team, and it has Protect instead.
Oh,
That's
wow.
really interesting. Also, Chiyu opting for Flamethrower instead of Overheat, having a move that guaranteed hits. I can respect that. AV is weird on Wake, so there's a lot of like weird choices on this team. I'm really curious to see how it goes together. But on first glance, I'm gonna say that this Koraidon is well matched up into this. Even the Scarf Chiyu in the back seems really annoying. Like, I feel like Masayoshi's definitely got the matchup here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because I would say, right, Koraidon beat Turtle, you're winning, right? You're in a good fucking spot. But I do think, Wheezing, I don't know if he's super great here. Taunt's cool.
I think Wheezing is good because it gets rid of the Terror Shell.
Oh, shit, you're right. It does. Okay, that's pretty big.
Stops Intimidate. It stops Sturdy. I think it stops Fluttermane. I think Wheezing's
Yeah.
incredible here. That's the thing. Koraidon's
I
already
was
good
wrong.
into Pagos. Wheezing's also really good into Pagos. So I'm thinking, like, this might be a tough matchup.
Double Snarl
For,
too is nuts. That's going to be huge, I think. Double Snarl is going to go hard. So let's get
Yeah.
into this. Let's check this one out. All right, so we're just hopping straight into game one, right? With Weezing and Koraidon lead for Masayoshi, and then we have Terapagos Fluttermane lead for Jude.
Also, just real quick correction: it is not PvP Pete, but rather PvP Steve 7. That is the GOAT.
Yeah, PvP
The
Steve.
link will be correct regardless.
Thank you so much. So yeah, right off the bat, this is what you said. He's fucking up Fluttermane, right? Because now it's not getting the boost. There's no threat of Intimidate, and there's no shells, so you're threatening just a CC or a collision course right off the bat.
Yeah, and I like Jude's play of kind of tearing to get rid of the sun, because that still happens regardless of the neutralizing gas, I believe.
That's huge. That's actually pretty big.
Then you live a collision course if you're trained properly, and that way, you know, you don't die, and he'd have to flare blitz the Fluttermane to get a kill on the turn. But we actually just see a protect, basically saying, I don't want to play into these games. And I got the mechanics wrong. The sun is still up.
Sun's chilling right now. This is huge. Yeah, this feels like a pretty good turn. You're just protecting, wasting a turn, wasting pressure from Flutter, and now I guess there's a Star Storm here, so it's up to Weezing to do whatever it wants here, but he's gonna eat this up, right? Tropicos hits like a fucking wet towel.
It's so weak, dude.
It's
without
so
any boost.
weak, yeah. And there's the taunt on the Flutter. That's feeling good. And the sun being up is huge, right? Like now you can just kill Terapagos.
You can just kill Terapagos. I feel like Masayoshi has been in a good spot since before the game started. So I think it's really his game to lose. The question is, like, what are you doing here? Are you collision coursing, and because you're in the sun, it still kills? Or are you going to try and take the kill on the Fluttermane knowing it can't protect? Well, I mean, it can't protect. It can't do anything. I feel like if you're taunting the Flutter, you're targeting Pagos this turn.
I would think so, but there is still that fear, right, of, like, getting hit with Icy Wind while you protect would feel bad, right? So, like, honestly, I would have... Well, I guess that the turn 1 was always really dicey anyways. All right, so he's not protecting. He is moving first, so that's max speed Flutter.
It is max speed Flutter or a slow Koraidon, but he didn't even fear the Moonblast.
He didn't care.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was a really good turn, though.
That actually does nothing, and we see the collision course. Do you think this is gonna kill?
I'm thinking yes. The sun is up. It's got that boost too. I think collision course is really like collision course versus CC like is actually something we talk about now. When I remember when we first saw it, it's like, dude, what idiot would use CC? But now CC is really fucking good. But collision course does get that boost to super effective hits, so it does way more than you expect sometimes when it's actually hitting super effective.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is keeping Sun with the Oracle Compulse.
Yeah, but now this is a little awkward, right? Like, we have a potential double Astral KO. Obviously, there is Pokemon in the back. We have potential Chi-Yu. We got potential AV Walking Wake with Snarl as well. So this situation doesn't feel auto-lost, but it is definitely a very positive turn for Jude here.
The Shadow Rider can get... Yeah, the Shadow Rider can get 2 KOs here, but as Masayoshi does, you protect, and I think you sack Koraidon, and then your Chi-Yu is really annoying, because the Flutter still doesn't have that booster, and it can just spam Snarl, maybe, or Heat Wave. I guess it's a bit of a tricky spot, but...
Just living?
Oh, wow, and it just lives that so easily. That's a really bulky Koraidon, I feel.
I feel like it doesn't outspeed the Flutter, then. I'm thinking that it wasn't a speed tie.
Yeah, you think it's just really bulky?
Yeah, which I guess is kind of weird, because I kind of always thought, like, the whole point of the Weezing thing was just be, like, max jolly, just damage, but clearly here we're not seeing it. But like you said, that
But it's
Chi-Yu
still a
comes in.
speed tie, so what's the point? It's more if you get a Flame Charge, you get to outspeed it.
Yeah. But now, Chi-Yu's in, Chi-Yu's chilling. I think at this point you could just spam Heat Wave to victory, right? I mean, the Flutter switching out and then getting the booster could be annoying. But then again, on this turn, you're probably just killing Ogerpon, and you're knocking this guy down the sash. So I don't know. It could Snarl too. It's kind of weird. I'm liking Heat Wave more personally, but we'll see here.
Yeah, I think you just Heat Wave. You don't Snarl, and the Flutter shouldn't even come back in time before Sun ends, right? Like I think there's only a couple more turns of Sun.
But it does have its booster still. So there is that.
Oh, so that is a bit of a problem. But can you KO the Chi-Yu fast enough is really the question.
You're right.
Well, the CSR is a +2 now. Terra is not available. It really comes down to whether Chi-Yu lives the Astral after an Icy Wind. But obviously,
It's not at +2. It's only at +1 though. Don't forget, because it didn't kill Koraidon. He Moonblasted.
oh, you're right. It's only
Yeah.
+1. In that case, I do think that Chiyu just has this with Heat Wave. And we see that Masayoshi didn't bring his second restricted, opting for Walking Wake, which means it's also going to be slower than the Flutter Mane, especially if Sun goes away.
True, but one big thing here is there still is Terra here for Mr. Walking Wake. Obviously, I don't think Chiyu's going to be pressing that, but Walking Wake could, and maybe, I don't remember the Terra, but either way, it's probably going to want to do that to get out of Moonblast.
I also don't remember the Terra, but it's AV, but there is Beads of Ruin up and a +1. So I'm not 100% sure, whether it's going to live or not. But this is a big turn. You get the KO. Again, it really comes down to whether Sun goes away this turn or not. And then is the Flutter, Icy Wind plus Astral Barrage going to be enough? Is the Ass Blast going to knock these fuckers out?
I'm thinking Wake goes the distance here. I think Wake is going to clutch up. Did Sun go away?
I think Chiyu's going to live it too, man.
I think Chiyu's chilling. Sun did go away. Okay, so there's no photosynthesis. We don't actually know what the boost is for our boy Walking Wake, but either way, Flutter Mane speed, so that's kind of all that matters here.
Oh yeah, I just noticed it's not in English. Yeah, I have no clue what's going on. I think both are gonna live pretty handedly.
Yeah, the AV's big, and we're gonna see this Terra commit right here. This is easy, right? Like,
Is it Terra Water, you think? Terra Steel?
It's water.
Terra Water. Look at it. Checks out.
I'm down.
You need the damage boost.
He also does have fucking Aqua Jet, so there is that. He could go for the
Holy
big jet.
shit, do you think they jet?
I don't think
No.
he's not jetting here. Look at how much he ate that with. All right, this +1. Okay, Heat Wave comes through. Oh, just kills Shadow Rider.
Yeah, that's why I'm really surprised Jude did not Icy Wind.
Yeah.
I think they must have just been playing to a throw or something, right? So
Yeah. Or maybe a dodge, right? Like, because Icy Wind is better, but I think Chiyu's living that regardless. And I think Walking Wake is with that AV. So that was a pretty well handled game there. Got the early turns right, specifically didn't get caught up with a Turtle Protect there and correctly targeted it. And after that, it was a free set for our boy Walking Wake and Chiyu at the end. Chiyu did go nuts in that game.
yeah, I really like how they didn't even opt to bring the CSR in the matchup. Kind of just like, hey, I got my special tanks into your team where you have very little physical damage, and the physical damage you do have gets shut down by Koraidon and Wheezing so hard. So I really do respect that. I think CSR could still come. Just having Sash is like huge in the mirror, especially if you come in second. They've already broken theirs. But I really like how they played it, making it so it's like, okay, even if Sun ends and you're faster, it's fine because I'm just gonna live. Whereas if there was CSR instead of Walking Wake, Icy Wind Astral's killing it every time.
Yeah. It would have come down to Chiyu living, and then obviously it would have been awkward with the Flutter living that Heat Wave. So yeah, I also think the Wheezing, like you mentioned, I totally insane there. Not messing up the turtle, like it fucks up the turtle just so hard, right? Sun's always up, and you're ruining the Terra Shell. So Wheezing popping off there just by sitting on the field. He did very little. He taunted, I guess, which is kind of cool. And then he hit him with a beautiful play rough. But that's all he needed to do, right? He just needed to sit there.
Yeah,
and
he just needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you're in Jude's shoes here, what are you doing?
I'm not leading Flutter Mane because that was so negative into Wheezing. Wheezing was never under any threat, right? I don't know if I fuck with the Flutter Mane lead. I mean,
I think you can though, because you're faster than Koraidon regardless, right? So you can get a T-Wave or whatever, as long as you don't get hit with the taunt. But like it's kind of like 50-50s, right? Like it's a really bad matchup.
yeah, I guess if you're just, I do think sometimes in bad matchups, you're right, playing to those 50-50s, like I do think those early turns could have totally changed the way the game's played, right? Like if he gets the Icy Wind and he protects Tropicos maybe on turn 2, maybe he's in a little bit better spot. Maybe he has more gas to get through the Koraidon Wheezing.
Holy shit. And I'm hearing a bike outside. They're kind of saying, nah, Koraidon just farms anyway. And that's what we're going to see in this game, too.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. What the fuck?
Wheezing and Walking Wake into, not Wheezing, Calyrex and Walking Wake into Flutter Tropicos. That's actually nuts.
So fucking big.
This is huge for, no, Walking Wake is giant. This is really good for Jude here, I think, right? Like, you're kind of fucking chilling. You're able to just press Icy Wind,
really good
T-Wave, whatever you want.
I don't understand why Masayoshi did this, but I guess you have a pretty free switch to Koraidon and just like Astral. It really just depends on if the Flutter Mane's gonna Terra.
Yeah, I would always think no.
Oh, sorry, wheezing. I mean, you can just
Oh yeah.
wheezing astral.
Oh, true, true. But I also would feel relatively safe just attacking because like I just don't think you get to commit that. And if you do commit that, that means that the turtle is much easier to deal with later. So there he is.
No, absolutely. I think you slam it every time, and I feel like Jude has to see this coming,
I
but
think he
I
lives.
don't. I didn't see anything.
I think he lives, dude. I think he's totally living
There's
this.
no way you live that. You can't EV for that, can you?
Yeah, you can.
Holy shit, you can EV for that, which Jude has done.
Fluttermane's special defense is insane, bro. Insane. Okay, so now
Oh, so I think the Pokeballs are covering the HP stat a little bit.
a little bit. They are covering it a little bit up top, and um, yeah, a little bit down below. It lived with like 12 though, so it was pretty comfortable.
Okay. Because in the last game, Terapagos went for Starstorm. I'm like, that did nothing to Weezing. But I realize now it did a little bit more damage than I thought.
So now you're chilling. This is really lit if you're Jude, right? Like you're not in the greatest spot, but you did get more value out of your Fluttermane than you probably should have, and the whole game plan was to kill this Fluttermane on turn 1, but that did not happen. So he's chilling. I think taunt is
this
safe,
turn
right?
is interesting. Yeah, he's taunting the Calyrex so it can't protect, but also so it doesn't encore his Pagos into Calm Mind. So he's going to get a free +2 here on his Pagos. And I assume Masayoshi just Astrals because there's really no reason not to, but
Yep.
yeah, there you go. Pick up the +1, get rid of the Fluttermane, and yeah, this is better for Jude because he actually is boosted. But does he have enough juice to get through the Koraidon in the back? Is the real question.
Especially with
Because
like,
he just dies.
depending on the timing too, the sun could stay up if he has to blow this Terra early. So he does need to kind of conserve his Terra and kill Weezing as fast as he can. So we're gonna see Taunt.
Exactly.
Taunt's chill. It's whatever. I don't think at this point he's good on the Calm Minds. He's ready to go. Ooh, this looks nice. This looks nice. This is such a.
This is a really nice CSR bring.
Yeah.
Ogerpon is actually misleading. Like you think you'd want redirection for when the Koraidon comes in, but the Masayoshi CSR is already Icy Winded, so Jude's gonna go first, and you're just putting on a lot of pressure. You're taunted, so you just have to attack, and Weezing could die. I'm gonna guess he's gonna protect the Weezing and
That's a
sack
safe
the
guess.
CSR.
I think that's a good
Or
safe
switch.
guess.
I think switching is actually a mistake on GU. So on CSR, I feel like you just want it to die, and whatever comes next comes in safely.
Yeah, I mean, you could also realistically go to Wake. I don't know if Wake gets to go the distance with Snarl, but maybe, right? Like AV Snarl, it's doing some work. So we're actually no protect on Weezing. Holy shit, he's just letting it die. Losing Weezing here seems like such a throw. Like, I'm not sure how he's going to recover, because now, obviously, Terra is still alive for Terapagos. So you're able to remove that sun, and Calyrex is just going to outspeed everything and kill it. So I'm not sure what the plan there was.
Yeah, I think the only way he won was really keeping Weezing on the field that turn protecting, and then calling whether the Pagos is staying in or switching. And even then, I think you might still lose because Pagos keeps its Terra, and you get hit with the +1 Astral, so I think it might have still been a losing spot, but you don't even have a chance without Weezing, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, Weezing he's the guy in this matchup. I do think, like, the Flutter living was really huge. I don't think the plan was bad for Masayoshi, thinking it's gonna kill, but Fluttermane is kind of goated.
That's a huge piece of information. I didn't know it was going to do that. I didn't know it could do that reasonably and also be fast, but it's like you were saying, maybe that Koraidon's really slow. I think that's probably the case, because I don't know if you can be that fast and live in Astral. But
True.
yeah, just going back to letting Weezing die, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like if he let it live, Walking Wake could have really come in clutch like a turn later when the Pagos cannot Terra, already switched out or died or whatever, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and now here we see the Terra, which is very, very good, very obvious here, but this is all you need to do. Remove the sun, and you're probably just going to win this game with Astral spamming. Is there Terra?
Well,
there is Terra, I guess, maybe.
You probably have to Terra Fire. Oh no, okay, so Jude just Astraling both should live. I guess Collision Course plus Snarl's not enough. I don't think this is enough. Pagos is definitely going down with the sun gone. I mean, it's living with the sun gone. And so I think this should be Curtains. It's +2, it should KO both.
Yeah, comfortably living. Yep. And
so that was a really good adjustment from Jude, where his adjustment was basically not changing anything and saying, you don't know what my fucking Pokemon do.
Oh my god, Walking Wake lived that though. That was actually nuts. What the fuck? It took a +1
I'm not that
Astral,
surprised.
+1 Astral, and a +2 Starstorm.
Yeah, it's AV, dude. We don't know Masayoshi's training. Everything seems to be fat as shit.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I don't know. I think this wheezing shit is just so good right now, though. I mean, I think it's a great call for this tournament, and it's obviously paying off here. I mean, we got ourselves a game 3. No Chi-Yu or Incin is a little wild. I'm not gonna lie. Your Dark type's not coming to the CSR matchup. Bold choice, but he went through with it. I still think it could have worked out had it went a little bit different. You know, like he didn't choke the wheezing. But I don't know. We'll have to see how he adjusts in Game 3. I'm thinking you go back to what worked, right? Drop the Koraidon Wheezing, and I just think that's the best lead you got.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% with you. I also think Chi-Yu is just one of the most annoying things for these teams, like Jude's team. And I think not bringing it's really just... You're just not going to have enough juice. You're going to have to play like way too aggressive, like make too many trades. Whereas if you just lead Wheezing Koraidon with Chi-Yu in the back, I feel like you have so many more options than your opponent. Your opponent's on the back foot the whole time.
And I just think that Walking Wake is even just providing more utility than CSR, right? Like I like the 4 he brought in the first game, and I think he should just go back to it and try to cook from there, because I think, you know, he left some holes that like he just couldn't come back from, and he just couldn't recover after that turn 1. So we'll see.
Yeah, again, living that Astral was huge, so I think that makes things a bit more tricky. Like, I can understand why Masayoshi changed the plan actually a little bit, because you find out that Flutter's faster than my Koraidon, and luckily it worked out, you know, game 1 where I got the taunt off, but that might not be the case again, right? So I think I get going like, okay, I'll just kill it with CSR or force it to Terra. Then it fucking just lives. That's brutal. So I think though we're on the same page. Got to go back to that game 1 lead and just play better. Just kill shit. I think you could bring CSR instead of Wake if you prioritize killing Flutter, but otherwise, Wake's bulk was like really, really good. Like you said, dude, it lived +1 Astra and +2 Starstorm. It's kind of a thickie, dude.
Yeah, and I think it like matches up well into everything but the turtle. But even the turtle, it's doing pretty solid. But I think like if the turtle goes down in any way, it's Walking Wake's just clutching up and killing everything. So, and I think Jude has to run it back with the same 4 Pokemon. I don't think we're gonna realistically see Incin.
Or
Rillaboom, yeah. I think we're gonna see the same lead.
I mean, Incin's bringable. But Walking Wake being brought every time makes it also like it's even less good into Koraidon and Wake, unless Wheezing's gone, and like it looks like you don't need it. So I think the other 4 are just better. I think Follow Me is also really valuable.
Yeah, and I think Ogerpon is big, because if he manages to get through this early game with the Tropicos healthy enough, maybe you can go somewhere. Yeah, maybe you can go somewhere. But we're seeing the same leads as game 1, which we expected here. I think both players kind of like this is their best shot of winning, is going down for this. And this is really important because this is a Worlds invite, right? It doesn't matter what region you play for, what country you're from. If you win a regional, you get a Worlds invite. So one of these players will be going to Worlds after this, which is pretty hype.
No, that is really big. You're staring across Jude. What are you doing?
I think I really want to kill Flutter, but I also want to just protect Taunt. Does the Flutter have Taunt? It does, right?
It does have Taunt. So it could Taunt the Wheezing. That seems like a bad play.
I'm Protect Taunting.
I feel like you Icy Wind or Thunder Wave every time.
Yeah, I think I'm Protect Taunting. I like that play. I don't really want to go into Protect. I really don't want to go into a Shadow Rider. I'm Protect Taunting and just seeing what he's doing. If I'm Masayoshi, so I guess maybe if you're Jude, you gotta throw. Wait, Flutterbean's switching out. Okay. Okay.
I think this is really good for Masayoshi because if it's Ogerpon that's coming in,
Oh, instant.
oh, it's instant. So you can actually get the fake out the next turn, and you get CSR,
Protectant would have been
right?
so bad if he did go for that. Yeah, this is just a protect. This is just a fake out Astral onto that Koraidon if he wants it.
If that is what happens, but we actually just see him go for a tear
He's
turn
attacking.
1.
And is he just gonna go right into that Flutter Mane slot though? Hit the Incineroar with the fire move? I think he kind of is.
I feel like that's probably the case, and I don't think that's the end of the world for either player.
So we're gonna see a CC.
Oh, no, it's actually a collision course.
Yeah.
Just Terrifier to get Knock It Moonblasted, because remember, game 1, he just kind of just raw dogged it and was like, you're not fucking clicking it.
So now this is really good, right? This is just a free Astral. You probably just double protect. I do think you could switch into Wake. That's pretty reasonable here. You could conserve the Wheezing. It still has value. Switching to Wake Protect feels pretty good.
I do like switching into Wake, because also, like, CSR has Encore pressure, so if you double protect, the next turn's not looking that awesome.
Yeah. I need Play Rough the Flutter Mane and then CC the Turtle game turn 1. Okay, just going on the offensive. I'm down for it. I don't think it's that bad.
Now, player probably does pretty, like,
Yeah.
decent damage anyway. But it's like we thought, probably Wake and Protect.
Oh, Intimidate.
And I guess that's Instant could... Oh, it does get the Intimidate off. Probably, like, parting that same slot. This is a much more interesting game than the first two. Oh, Chi-Yu. That's also a perfectly good switch in.
I think both are acceptable. I imagine, okay, the Protect's safe. You just don't want to take an Astral, especially because you are switching in Chi. So this next turn looks pretty good, though, right? Because you do fake out. So now you do threaten, like, a potential Snarl or Heat Wave. You could just, thinking you just Snarl Flame Charge or Snarl CC. You got a lot of options, honestly. The Chi-Yu's in a really good spot.
Yeah, worst case, the Instant actually knocks that slot, but I didn't see what happened. Was it a fake
He faked
out?
out. He faked out, yeah.
I think you have to play a little bit more aggressive than that. I think you have to call the Protect on that Koraidon. Because now, it's like you said, you can just Snarl. CSR can Encore, but you're getting nothing out of it if Koraidon switches. Even if it stays in, it eats a Snarl. Like, you're not doing enough.
I also think you can just switch into Wake if you wanted to, but we're going to see Instant switch out into that's Flutter Mane, so he doesn't want to risk taking a fighting move in that slot. I think this is a pretty safe defensive switch, but this Chi-Yu is still just doing work.
Yeah, I could see Snarl, but I can also see Heatwave in the Sun being just enough. And I think staying in with Koraidon's fine and threatening the collision course, because you really don't want to actually get hit with the knockoff onto the Chi-Yu. But we do see a Snarl instead of Heatwave. I think this is going to be an interesting game because this next turn's going to look weird, as we do see the collision course just hit the Flutter Mane and do no damage.
Yeah, and now
You can switch back to Wheezing to get rid of the Proto, but you're still just clicking Snarl, and means you're definitely getting hit with a T-Wave or Icy Wind. I think there's basically no way to stop Flutter Mane from getting an attack off.
And it feels good too, because you could easily just switch the Shadow Rider into Instant if you wanted to. You still have your Sash intact, so you can just freely Astral. You're like not at risk of losing the Shadow Rider because of that Sash. So this is a really, really good spot for Jude. That last turn, I think Masayoshi had to get some sort of read, whether it was Flame Charging or just locking into Heat Wave, right? Like, I think that might have been a little bit better. We're going to see a swap here of Koraidon into Mr. Wheezing.
Yeah, I also think that Heatwave would have been better just to get rid of this Flutter. But at this point, you still get the Snarl off first. That's really big, because the damage is just not enough. I feel like Masayoshi can lose the next couple of turns and still win with Koraidon in the back.
True, yeah.
Like, look at that. They did nothing.
As long as he's spamming, and here comes the Thunder Wave, so now it is time for some fun games, right? Like, you do have to deal with that, which is a pain in the ass, but you're not really threatened offensively here. I guess Moonblast Astral maybe get... No, it's at -2 on the Flutter. Yeah, Flutter Mane is going to have to probably switch out if we think it's valuable, which I think Flutter Mane is the best Pokemon in this matchup. Like, it's kind of doing all the carrying here.
Yeah, and I think, I don't remember what you said, but in the video, you said something stupid about how Flutter is bad in this matchup. You can't lead it. When really, it's been putting in a lot of work for Jude. I feel like if Masayoshi doesn't get parried, you can just click Snarl. I think the Weezing could switch out. It can just click Protect. I think preserving it is quite a bit of value into those Pagos.
I think it's
But
protecting, but
just
yeah.
spam Snarl as long as you hit through it. You're looking nice.
Are we going to see protect from Weezing? No, it actually went for... Okay, so this is Snarl. So Weezing does attack here. It does something. But I guess it's not really threatened because it is a -1 Shadow Rider. So it's going to play rough. It does. They do half. He went critical on him. It did half to the,
Okay.
the turtle.
He went critical. I was like, that did so much. What the hell? Why aren't we running this? But that was crit. I mean, I respect that play. I feel like it's also not dying to Astral plus Moonblast or Icy Wind. So just getting rid of the Flutter, making it a 4v2 is probably winning anyway. But yeah, you actually do hit the Pagos, and I think you're just in the same spot. Just protect Snarl or whatever you need to do to win this game at this point.
I think protecting is really safe now. Now it's a for sure protect because you really don't want Weezing to go down. He is still really valuable. So yeah, I think you can just keep spamming Snarl. Like you mentioned though, it is really like he's got like 3 free turns just by pressing that Snarl that one time, and now he's just kind of chilling because Jude has to try to somehow get back into this when he just gets to spam Snarl into the like full special attacker team. Weezing's actually gonna withdraw. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you actually don't need to attack with Weezing or need to suppress anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just switch out into Wake or whatever you have in the back and just keep spamming Snarl. Again, if you don't get paired, if you do get paired, it seems fine.
Yeah, Walking Wake is another really amazing switch here. It's like feels so good into Jude's team because of the AV. It really can just eat up anything. Like it's so good. The AV is so clutch here. Now he's spamming Snarl. The protect there is really nice. So now you kind of have to fake out the Wake, but the Snarls are still there. You can set up Calm Minds, but Kuroo is waiting. He's going to get you at some point. So I feel like I don't even know if I'd want to do that. Maybe you try to get like an Earth Power off. Maybe you try to Calm Mind. I don't know.
Yeah. I call this the double stanky face because you got 2 Snarlers on the field. I just feel like you're in a really bad spot. You fake out that one, hope for the para, and yeah, I think you need like 8 more of these paras because there's still the big juicy Koraidon in the back, and Pagos is still too low, and you need to preserve the Terra to get rid of the Sun, and the Snarl still does so much. What the hell?
Yeah, because now we've got Beads of Ruin, so now it's the Stab, Beads of Ruin, Snarl from the Scarf Chi. We take those. And it's also
mini Pagos.
It has not gotten paired once, by the way, which is pretty nuts.
Well, I think Masayoshi has a deep and special connection with this Pokemon, and they talked about it beforehand, that if he gets paralyzed, he will physically abuse them.
So, okay, he's at -1 too on the Terraphicos, but everything's at half. Yeah, he's just slowly whittling down here, and I feel like Masayoshi's guys are all pretty healthy. They're kind of chilling. So Jude really needs to get something going here, and either needs to get a KO or some sort of like pressure on the field here. But blowing the Terra at any point just sucks because then Koraidon's gonna get his Sun, and he's winning. He's loving it.
He needs a para and a crit. I think that's really what it is.
So he's gonna Hydro Steam in.
Oh, he didn't even fake out.
He did the turn before. This was the after the turn.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, there's nothing you can do. You have to stack that slot and then basically get a crit here.
I think this might just kill it. Oh my god, he got the crit here.
I told you that was the only way to get back into this game.
Okay.
And I still think it's not looking amazing. You just bring in Koraidon. If Flutter comes in, you switch to the Weezing, and if it doesn't, well, I guess Jude has to go for another paralysis, huh? You T-Wave Koraidon and just see if it moves.
I do think Wake could be the one to Terra here as well. You could just start Hydro Steaming and just KOing all of the friends that aren't Tropicos, and then just like switching to Weezing or whatever. But I'm not sure.
No, because I think you want Weezing to suppress Flutter, and then you don't want Weezing in front of the CSR, so the Wake can be the fastest thing.
So here comes Koraidon. Oh, he's already Terra'd. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, so you also just go to Weezing so you don't get rid of the Sun, and so you still KO the Pagos.
But if he Thunder Waves and he's at like minus like 8, right? So you just have to Thunder Wave Koraidon and go to Weezing? Or you're saying you just Thunder Wave Koraidon and try to like Starstorm kill it maybe? Like with another crit?
Yeah, I could see it. I think you just go on the offense. Like, you just need a T-Wave para anyway, right?
Yeah, and then you do get the free switch, so you do get to conserve the sun, which is really awesome. Okay, he didn't switch.
Okay, it's like you said. My bad, dude. You think you're seeing protect just like Hydra Steam or something on Flutter?
I was thinking you needed to switch Koraidon into Wheezing, though, so that you get to keep the sun up. Because if the sun's down, I think Flutter might live this fucking Assault Vest Walking Wake Hydro Steam, dude. I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah, I mean, how healthy is it? It probably might live.
It's at half. I think it will live. Okay, sun's
Okay, so
gone.
there's the booster. Probably just T-Wave and Starstorm.
T-Wave hits.
I
Okay.
thought it missed for a second. I was like, holy shit, what's happening?
I did too, yeah. So it
All
hits.
right,
Does this kill? He needs another crit? Okay, there's the Hydra Steam. It's living with one, dude. Yeah, it's living comfortably.
That's so weak.
Dude, that's
I
why...
think it dies in sun, right?
It definitely does, because you get the boost. Because the sun would still be up here if Wheezing switched in.
Yeah, how much is this doing? Holy shit, that does nothing.
Okay, so now Pagos is dead, right? Right? Yeah, he's out of here. Okay, okay.
You jet the Flutter.
Yeah, you get the jet. You get to use Aqua Jet on your fucking AV Walking Lake.
Oh, you can jet the CSR, it doesn't even matter. Oh, you jet the Flutter.
You get the jet, clutch it up.
I think go to Wheezing probably.
Yeah, I guess Masayoshi
If you want.
He said, I'm just gonna live because I snarl spammed you. That was actually a beautiful demonstration of how to destroy this team with just snarl spam, right? Like, literally just having Chi-Yu just bodies this team sometimes.
I mean, it is like I said, like Chi-Yu is just too good in this matchup to not bring, especially with Wheezing. There's the jet. Oh my god, that was so funny. Holy shit, it actually came up.
Yeah, it actually came up. It actually mattered. It made the game like completely locked up here. And he does get full parried there, but at what cost? He does not care. He's just got a second jet headed Jude's way, stopping him from getting the worlds. Nuts.
Yeah. I guess that you don't even have to switch Koraidon up because Jet kills both, so you don't need the sun up to outspeed it. Yeah. Wow, that was an incredible finals. Shout out Masayoshi for like a super interesting team and honestly a masterclass on how to defeat Pagos teams that are super annoying right now. They're popping up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it really was just Chi-Yu. The Walking Wake was kind of nice. Like, it kind of did help.
No, I think the Walking Wake was really good. It tanked a lot. It put in the work. We saw it win the last game. I think this is a really cool team. I like their take on it.
Yeah, I think it is a cool... Like, I think Wheezing Koraidon, Shadow Rider, is such a good, solid core. It's even better in this format. And just controlling when your opponent gets their abilities can be so huge. We saw James Evans do super well with this team, or like, not with this team, with Koraidon, Wheezing, and Calyrex as well at Milwaukee. So I feel like this is a team that is here to stay a little bit. I think in this format, it's definitely something you need to be prepared for.
Helicopter.
Okay. Well,
we're
with that,
almost done.
Okay. I think we're good to end it here. I'll say it. All right. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something about the Regulation I meta. And thank you for joining me, Roger.
Of course, and thank you guys for helping us hit 5,000 subscribers. We are so close to our real goal of 5 million now. I never thought we'd get this so fast, but no, seriously, we do appreciate every single one of you. I always tell Colin we have such good comment culture. So thank you guys for engaging in the community too. It's what we want. We want this to be a space where everyone can just be pretty chill, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And thank you guys so much for those 5K subs. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.